Hey there, YouTube. It's been a while. I haven't made a video in a bit, but right now I am making a video. So yeah. Today's video is about, I don't know. I guess sort of just like reflecting on life. Like I'm sure I'm not the only one who, maybe something happens and then you look back later on and say, hey, that happened. It didn't go the way I wanted. What if I said this instead? What if I did this instead? Things could have been a bit different, And honestly, I think it's great to look back and reflect on those things, by studying the past and all that. Just the actions that you've taken, you can learn more about yourself. Helps you grow. Like, I don't think that you should just go through life and do something and then not think about it again, and because then you don't learn any lessons. Like, people sometimes try their hardest not to mess up, but I would rather, mess up and then learn about it than go through my life without any, big faults, because you don't grow, there's no progression. So I think that it's a very good thing to look back at life and say, what if this happened, and what if that did that? I think it's great, I think it's healthy, I think it's normal, and I think it's, like I said, I think it's how we grow. But the issue is that sometimes people, I've been guilty of this myself, will focus too much on that. Will focus on, oh, I really messed up, what if I did this, what if I did that? But it's not like you think about it for a few minutes while your mind's just wandering off other places. It's like, it becomes an obsession. What if things went this way? If I said this, everything would have been okay. If I did this, if I was here at this time, everything would have been perfect. And the thing about that is, you know what? Things might have been perfect. Things might have been exactly the way you planned, and things would have been great. But I'm sure that a lot of you know, if you've ever tried to, maybe you have a big talk you want to do, someone, you plan out the talk in your head, you might be like, okay, if I say this to that person, they'll respond with that, and so I respond with this. And then 2 steps in, you're caught off guard, they said something you didn't expect, and it throws you off. And that's because it's very easy to look back at life and say, if I did this, things would have been different, things would have been better, I know this for a fact. But no matter how routine life may seem, and how likely it may be that that something will change for the better, you never know for sure. So I don't think it's the greatest thing to spend all your time obsessing over. There's so many things in life that are completely unpredictable, just little. Getting from point A to point B in life isn't as simple as getting from point A to point B. It's all these little steps along the road for a lot of big things, and if one thing was slightly different in a way that you would never have expected, things could be completely changed. But I find often there's just things that you can never predict. So you could never in your life be like, okay, if I did this, then things would go smoothly. For example, I'm going off very soon to college to study photography. If it wasn't for me being late to English class, grade 10, it's very, very likely that I would be going off for something else. Probably never really discover that I have a big passion for that and everything. I've got a friend who right now is very happy in a relationship, and there's many different factors. Like I said, I'm not like, oh, I take credit, because if this didn't happen, and this didn't happen, and this didn't happen, they might not have met. But one of the things that at the time seemed so insignificant is, if my father wasn't sick one weekend, then they might not be dating. So it's just things like that, just me being late for class, my sick dad. It's just, there's these little things. And honestly, I don't think that looking back at life and spending all that time looking back and saying, hey, maybe if I wore a purple tie today, then this would happen, because it's not always what you think it's going to be. It's not always going to be that. And that's just life. Sometimes people try and manufacture the perfect outcome, but there is no perfect outcome. There's outcomes, there's good and there's worse, but it's all in your head, and perfection just isn't something that can be achieved, no matter how hard you try, even if you keep going back in time. It's like there's a movie, what's it called, Groundhog Day, Bill Murray, I think. I can't remember all the movie, but I remember he tried to impress some girl and kept going back, and it kept changing slightly each time, kept on going and going, and in the end he still didn't get the perfect little scenario he wanted, because no matter how much you go back, you revisit, you review your life, and you do all this, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be the greatest thing. It's not going to be every single day, it's sunshine and rainbows and happiness, and because you did that slightly different thing, you know, there will never be a rainy day again, because that's not life. I don't think that's what life should ever be. I don't want to live in a world where I'm happy all the time, or just as I don't want to live in a world where I'm sad all the time. I want to live in a world where I've experienced, you know, a bunch of different feelings, and because of that, I can appreciate when good things do happen, not beat myself up because something could have been a bit better. Yeah, that's it really. I think it's good to reflect, like I said, and grow, but I don't think it should become an obsession, because we're not perfect. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Tell me in the comments down below what you think. You know, have you ever looked at something and saw like, hey, if that one little thing didn't happen, I'd be like, what? Life changed. So yeah, tell me what you think. If I'm just curious, there's no way I'm not the only one. Like, I know there have been plenty of times in my head I've played out a scenario and it's like, okay, if I do this, this would happen. If I do that, that would happen. And yeah, just tell me what you think in the comments down below, and that's all. See you guys later. Well, think of what could have happened if I, you know, did this video a bit different. Maybe I could have, I don't know, used a different lens, or gone outside, or talked about something altogether different. What would have happened if you guys never saw this video? You'd probably still go on living your lives and be all good and cheery. But anyways, this is getting a bit long. I'll talk to you guys later, and goodbye!